What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's video I am gonna run through some basic mobility movements that I feel everyone should include into their daily routines. On Instagram I put a lot of mobility that I do. Some of them are slightly more advanced, so today what I'm gonna do is just the basics for every fitness level. And again, I'm gonna do a voiceover as I always do, just to explain the various movements as well. So, you don't have to do all of them. You can pick at least 4 or 5 and include that into your daily training. Some of them are dynamic movements and some of them are static. So the dynamic movements you can do before you train, but static stretches, leave that to the end of your workout or on your rest day. With these mobility movements, you can do them at home, or you can do them in the gym. So what I've done is make sure you can do them in one location, one spot. You don't need a lot of equipment either. So I hope you find the video useful. Any questions, as always, leave a comment below and I'll be happy to answer them. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. I appreciate that. Enjoy the video. This exercise is great for hamstrings and lower back stretch, and also helps in improving range of motion. To begin, take a deep breath in and breathe out through your mouth, and then very slowly reach down, keeping your legs as straight as possible. However, bending your knees slightly is fine. As you can see, by standing on a box, it allows me to extend further down past my feet, and I like to hold for a good 2 to 3 seconds or even longer, and then slowly come back up. After a few reps, you should try and reach further down. If doing this at home, you can use a chair and a dumbbell, or you can use a heavy backpack for added resistance. This movement is great for pre-workout shoulder prep and also helps if you have a slight impingement on your shoulder. Try and touch your toes and gradually crawl forward. Once in a plank position, with your hands shoulder width apart, slowly sink your shoulder blades down and back up, as you can see from the video. Another way I like to think about it is sink your chest down and then shrug back up, and do this for a few reps and come all the way back up, and repeat this a few times. This is another great hamstring stretch to improve range of motion. I like to take a deep breath in and breathe out through the mouth and reach down, grabbing the back of my ankles, or you can touch your toes, that's absolutely fine. Keeping my knees slightly bent as well. If you're really flexible, you can keep your legs as straight as you possibly can. You will know when you start to see improvements, as you will be able to keep your legs as straight as possible and hold the stretch for a longer period of time comfortably. This is a great exercise to improve shoulder mobility and also help with strengthening them. First, we're going to start with the reverse plank. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart and try and do a few reps of these, and hold for about 2 seconds or even a lot longer when you bring your glutes up. Next, in the plank position, try and reach backwards. As you can see in the video, take one hand up and reach as far back as you can in the opposite direction. Please be careful when you do this move, as it's rather difficult. So get comfortable first doing the reverse plank before attempting this. This is a good hip mobility exercise. So starting in the kneeling position, make sure to kneel on the leg that's going to be stretched. As you can see, I use the opposite hand to hold up my leg and rest my hands on the floor whilst holding the stretch. You can move your hands forward and lean further into the stretch also. If you have the mobility, why not try doing this without resting your hands on the floor? Putting a towel under your knees is fine to make this more comfortable. If you have tight glutes and occasional lower back pain, this stretch is great to help with that. When you get into the position, hold for a few seconds. Then I like to progress this by again taking a deep breath in, and when I breathe out, reach forward, hands out on the floor with my heads down. And then after 10 seconds, gradually lean to the right, hold for another 10 seconds and back to the center, and lean to the left and hold for another 10 seconds. This exercise most people are aware of but never utilize it enough. This is a great stretch for your back, especially if you have back pain, and also great before a leg day session or before any deadlifts. Take a deep breath in and breathe out as much air from your stomach, and then imagine your upper back is being pulled up into the ceiling. Tuck your head in between your shoulders. Also, try and push up as far as you can go, hold for a few seconds, and then slowly sink your lower back down towards the floor. Don't force it, just allow it to drop naturally. This is a great stretch and rehab for your delts. You can use a towel, t-shirt, or a resistance band. Place one arm behind your back, with the shoulder that will be stretched, and then with the opposite hand, pull the t-shirt up and pull it down and rest it on your chest. Make sure you keep your shoulders back and your chest up. With the hand behind, try and reach as far up on your back as you can. Hold it for a good 90 seconds and then swap sides. This will feel slightly uncomfortable, and if your shoulders are very tight or if you have any inflammation, you might absolutely hate this stretch, and you might need to hold it for less time or as long as you can. This is a great stretch to help with hip mobility, especially if you have tight hips, which can affect things